Every place has its own history, and that history contributes to forming an even larger picture. In this video, you will be able to know the local history of the famous Saint Matias Church of Tumauini, Isabela. The Church of Tumauini was built in 1707 of light materials initiated by the first recorded missionary Fray Francisco Nunez, OP, and dedicated in the honor of the Patron Saint Matias. From 1707 to 1750, Tumauini was then still a part of the town of Cabagan. In 1750, Tumauini was separated from Cabagan and became a regular parish and was created a town. It is interesting to note that the northwestern towns of Isabela up to Tumauini were still a part of the province of Cagayan until 1856, when the province of Isabela was created and for a while had the distinction of being the capital town of the new province of Isabela sometime in 1880s. The most common mode of transport during the Spanish era in Cagayan Valley were watercrafts plying either the Magat River on the south or Cagayan River on the north, which were frequently traversed by natives moving up and down the valley for trade and business. The ports of Ilagan and San Pablo were points of embarkation and debarkation. Since those trips take long hours, perilous and tiresome, Fray Francisco Nunez, in addition to his project of building a church in Tumauini in 1707, thought of establishing also a mission port between the above-mentioned ports. Thus, the trade activity increased and gradually some travelers started to settle along and near the river banks of Tumauini, increasing its population, commerce, and trade. The inhabitants of Tumauini are predominantly Ibanags, literally translated Y, natives of, and Banag, which means river, natives living near the Cagayan River, just like Tagalog, Tagailog, and the dialect spoken is Ibanag also. Thus, the natives are mostly located along the river banks for farming and livelihood. Although Cagayan Valley has for its native Ibanags, Itawes, Yogads, Gadangs, Malawegs, and some Ilocanos, predominant or majority of these are well-known Ibanags. Famous among the Ibanags of Tumauini during the time of Fray Nunez in the 1700s is a local chieftain named Cabagan. The natives then were not united with each other, warlike with rival tribes, and most of all still pagans, atheists, or do not know that there is God. In the course of his missionary work, Fray Nunez was able to befriend Cabagan together with his followers and in a fitting ceremony baptized them on the 3rd day of May 1707, the feast day of the finding of the cross. Cabagan was christened Matias the Cabagan in honor of Saint Matias, and from there on, the natives gradually renounced their pagan ways and embraced Christianity. Finding that the provisional wooden church of light materials is already old and dilapidated, and after several repairs and renovation done by the natives, to cope up with the growing population and the town progress, the people proposed to build a bigger and concrete church, and this was fully supported by Father Vicente Gomez. However, the alcalde of Cagayan, where Tumauini belongs, despite the favorable endorsement of the Dominican provincials, disapproved this, and therefore it remained a wooden camarin for quite some time. On the 27th day of January 1783, the Tumauini townsfolk proposed again to the alcalde of Cagayan their desire to build an iglesia de piedra because the collapsible camarin could no longer accommodate the growing population with increasing Catholic faith and to properly observe religious services. This was favorably endorsed by Father Domingo Forto on September 5, 1783. The approval by the superior government came. The people were so confident that even before the date of approval, 3 months earlier, or on the 10th day of June 1783, they started building the church made by piedra y ladrillo, brick and wood. It was during the tenure of Father Forto that the new and concrete church was to become beautiful. All-inspiring church of stones inside and out, with unique cylindrical tower with intricate bricks adornments not only in the tower but on the facade, the main altar, side walls, and the windows and the sacristy. Church cylindrical tower is the only one of its kind in the Philippines, an honor for the Tumauini town folks. The construction of the church took 22 long years to accomplish, but I believe this includes the Parish convento on the left side, with dining hall, conference area, and spacious room for visitors and civil leaders when they debark on the port of Tumauini for the mission and rest. But the convent now is in ruins and no reconstruction undertaken. The fences and walls are also a sight to behold because of its thickness, decorative bricks overlain and only breast high in height. Writer Florentino Hornedo, in his piece A Song of Prayer in Clay, once described the Tumauini Church. A record and monument of that growth has been left for prosperity in the form of a magnificent architectural masterpieces in terracotta or baked clay. In ornateness and design, it is without equal in the whole Cabagan Valley, perhaps in the whole Philippines. It survived earthquakes, but it almost lost to bombs during the World War II. Today, it bears the great scars of war, but continuous as its builder probably intended to be a song of divine praise in clay. Today, it is stand out among the old churches in the Cagayan Valley and in the Philippines. It symbolically showcases and chronicles the unity, struggle, and strength of the natives in their history of Christianization. An enduring moment during the Spanish era, it is their expression of love and faith to our Lord. Priests, religious, historians, culture and art lovers, architects, tourists, and educators are ordinary folks dropped by again and again to appreciate the beautiful, imposing structure, a work of art at its best that the Dominicans has gifted to this part of the country. In the Cagayan Valley region, this is a major stopover for tourists and visitors. Once again, this is the Saint Matias Church in Tumauini, Isabela.